Alright, so we're against another Warlock. And I'm probably going to do the boring thing here and wait out to see what the other Warlock mulligans to try and suss out whether they may be Zoo or Handlock. They mulligan everything, so I'm thinking Handlock. Regardless, we were really going to throw back everything anyway, I think, but at least this way we didn't give any information away about what kind of Warlock we were playing. Plays a Dragon Egg. That's pretty non-standard in Zoo, but make no doubt it is a Zoo card. I can't imagine playing that in Handlock. So the option here is basically, do you want to drop the Bloodmage Thalnos or do you want to tap? And we're kind of losing an opportunity cost on tapping if we play Bloodmage there, so I decided to just tap. We can always Bloodmage Mortal Coil next turn if we need to. So here the options are Earthen Ring, Bloodmage Mortal Coil, or Darkbomb. So it really comes down to, do I want to clear the Dragon Egg now or not? And I kind of like Earthen Ring here because even if he coin Defender of Arguses, that doesn't make him have any good trades. And it doesn't mean he's going to get any extra dragon tokens off of the Dragon Egg, because we can still kill it in one shot with the Earthen Ring. He's looking at the coin, so I'm thinking maybe that means he has coin Defender of Argus. But he's looking at something else, so he has... Okay, he's got a Knife Juggler. Alright, our Earthen Ring survived, and now he's going to coin into a Nerubian Egg. And luckily the knife misses there. So we've got a lot of options here. We can Bloodmage Mortal Coil the Knife Juggler and we'll float 1 mana. And then our Earthen Ring would still die to one of the 1/1 tokens anyway. So I kind of think we want to run the Earthen into the Knife Juggler, which would leave us at Mortal Coiling a 1/1. And I don't see any point in Dark Bombing yet. So we'll probably just Mortal Coil and see what we get and go from there. Okay, we get a Siphon Soul. That's not going to change anything. So I think the only question here is, do we tap or Bloodmage? And again, Bloodmage is kind of good because the 1/1 body does contest the 1/1 Spectral Spider there. But we're, again, losing an opportunity cost on the tapping if we Bloodmage instead of tap, even though it will essentially draw us the same amount of cards. So he did have the Defender. That may have been what he was contemplating last turn. And here, we're kind of in a rough spot. We can Implosion either the 1/1 or the Defender of Argus. We can save the Implosion for Bloodmage Implosion. I don't think that's worthwhile that much. We can Darkbomb the Defender of Argus. Or we can just play a Healbot and heal for 7 instead of 8. But I'm kind of leaning towards Healbot, just to get a minion on the board. He taps, so... I mean, I guess that means he doesn't have a Loatheb. Plays Direwolf, that's pretty good for him. Luckily, we do have a bunch of removal in our hands, so we can take the Direwolf out. So we can Bloodmage Implosion, or we can just Implosion the Direwolf and then Darkbomb the Flame Imp. So we could double Darkbomb. We could Darkbomb the Direwolf and Darkbomb the Flame Imp. Another sort of marginal option is to Siphon Soul the Dragon Egg so that he gets no dragons. But I decided to go the Implosion Darkbomb route. And actually Darkbomb the Dragon Egg instead of the Flame Imp. So that way he doesn't get a bunch of 2/1 tokens. I don't really have a good way of stopping him from doing that right now. So he tapped again, he plays a Void Caller and another Dragon Egg. and a Haunted Creeper. So even if we drew Hellfire, he has a board that's very resilient to it. Big Game Hunter is going to be pretty much no help in this situation. We probably Darkbomb the Flame Imp. There really aren't many other good options. We could... This is looking like a very low curve zoo, so when we have 2 Siphon Souls, so I wouldn't feel guilty about Siphon Souling something right here. But everything's just so small that Darkbomb does just as good a job as Siphon Soul does. It may even be that you should use a Siphon Soul here just for mana reasons, so that you'll have a Darkbomb later for only 2 mana. But then again, you won't be able to tap if you Siphon Soul. And I really like tapping with this deck. So I'm going to tap, because we do desperately need some better stuff in our hand for this matchup. So just a pretty normal play of tap and Darkbomb. And now we've already tapped this turn, so we're not giving up giving up a tap to play the Bloodmage like all the other turns. So I'm just going to play the Bloodmage, and it is a 1/1 body. People sometimes forget about that, but against Zoo, another 1/1 is never going to hurt. He taps again, so that tells us he doesn't have a Dr. Boom. An Imp Gang Boss. Okay. So his board is full. Not that there's much way to take advantage of that. And we have to count his damage. So he's got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, he has 9. We're at 16. So we're effectively at 7. I don't believe he's used any Power Overwhelmings or Doom Guards yet. So if we don't do anything, double Power Overwhelming would kill us, I think. But I think we have to take that risk in this position. We have to throw out as many strong minions as we can to fight for the board. Because he's got taunt, so it's not like we can burst him down from no board. We do have to have something stick on the board long enough to remove the taunts. And we're going to die, you know, with 2 turns from now if we don't do something to take some damage off the board. So he had no way of laying down a buff minion. That was really important. His board was too full to do that. So he did have to ram into the Imp Gang Boss without one-shotting it. So we do get the 2 1/1 tokens, which is good. Shattered Sun Cleric hasn't been in Zoo for a while, but if you're going to run Dragon Eggs, I think it's good to run Shattered Sun. So he decides to leave up the Twilight Drake and just go for face damage. Now we need to count his damage again. He's got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He's got 11, so we're effectively at 1. Now, how much damage do we have? We can Siphon Soul one of the taunts and run a Twilight Drake into one of the taunts. And that leaves us with only 3 mana left. So all we could do would be to do 4 damage to him. So we definitely don't have lethal. So we have to ask the question of how... Basically, how do we remove the most damage possible from his board? We can Siphon Soul the Gang Boss or the Shattered Sun. It's very scary to tap here. And then the other option would be, since we have 9 mana and it's very hard to get out a 9 mana card in this situation, yeah, we can Alexstrasza ourselves. We're still pretty vulnerable here though, because he's got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage. So a Doom Guard kills us, or a Power Overwhelming and any other source of damage kills us. So like a Power Overwhelming Abusive kills us. But there wasn't much more we could do. We could have Siphon Souled something, and that would have given us +3, and then like minus another 2 on his damage. But I just don't think I can win from that position. I think I need to take the risk and continue to put some things on the board so I can break through that Nerubian Egg and hopefully play out my combo. He has an Owl, that's pretty bad for us. He decides to attack in with a Creeper. He wants to preserve his taunt, which is really wise. So he does that and sacrifices a Spectral Spider to do so because he didn't have enough space. So now we need to counter damage again. This would probably involve Siphon Souling. We would Siphon Soul the egg, and that would leave us with enough for Arcane Golem Power Overwhelming, so that's 8. And then 8 from Alexstrasza, that's 16. So we're 1 damage off. Let's see, alternatively, you can Arcane Golem Power Overwhelming Faceless, but again, you just have to ram into the egg with the second Arcane Golem, so you wouldn't net any more damage. So if we can't kill him again, we have to ask how can we survive. And this will give up some burst, but I think the only way we can survive is to Sludge Belcher Faceless. I think other than that, he pretty much just kills us on board, no matter what. And here I can attack into the taunt to clear it and clear the way for my combo, but that would give him 4 more damage on board, and that I haven't done the math yet. That may just have ended in straight up lethal, but if not, it would give him a lot better chance at it. So he used an owl, which is good. So hopefully he doesn't have another owl to get through one of these Belchers. And it does look like he's going through him the honest way. As a power overwhelming, that's still not quite enough, I don't think. He throws out the well played. The knife hit Alex, that's really good. It looks... yeah, we don't want knives hitting our face, and I don't think Alex is going to die this turn, so we want the knife to hit Alex as much as possible. And he has a Dark Iron there, not a Power Overwhelming. He threw out the well played trying to get me to concede, because if he had Power Overwhelming, we were dead, but he didn't have it. So let's do our math again for if we have lethal. So we can Siphon Soul and then Arcane Golem Power Overwhelming, and that gives us 16 damage. He has a Knife Juggler on board though, so I'm going to Arcane Golem first. I'm pretty sure that Siphon Soul resolves in the way that we would gain the 3 health first and we'd guaranteed not die, but there's no reason not to play it this way, just in case. And it does look like it resolves in the order where we had 100% guaranteed lethal. So that was a game versus Zoo. As you can see, it is a very tough matchup, but it is winnable.